Hey, I'm Direct Sun. I'm here talking about puzzle dungeons tonight, and this is the third time I've started this recording, and the first time I'm looking in the camera. We have about a month left in the Puzzle Dungeon Jam. I'm super excited about everything. We have 2 submissions so far. The idea behind one part of the jam is that you can submit your puzzle dungeon early, and I will give you not to yeah, I will do a professional dev edit pass. Something that you might get from a friend or an editor, someone that you want their advice. You trust them. You say, "Hey, what do you think of this thing?" So it's going to be like that for the feedback. It's not about bashing any entries. It's not about reviewing it or critiquing it. It's just how it can be the best puzzle dungeon that it could possibly be, in my opinion. It's totally optional advice. I totally ignore it. The idea is that you can submit many times, and if I have the time, I will go in and look at it again, give more feedback, and the cycle continues. Jam's going until December 15th. It's not too late, and it doesn't have to be pretty. Please don't worry about layout. The ones that I've looked at so far are very pretty. I love them, but it doesn't have to be pretty, and that's not going to make the best puzzle dungeon. If it's super pretty, it's going to be a pretty puzzle dungeon. Probably be the best pretty puzzle dungeon. The prettiest puzzle dungeon. So we have 2 submissions. Blue Leprechauns, 1-page dungeons. This is their itch page. It's a puzzle with a color theme, which is fun. I hadn't thought of color, and they utilize the theme very well, I think. What's cool about this 2 designers, creators, there's 2 folks that created this dungeon. They work together. I think they make all of their dungeons together during a podcast, so they have like a theme maybe. I've only watched one of their videos so far. This is released under CC Creative Commons Share Alike 4.0, so Yohai will be very happy about that too. That's pretty cool. And I think all of their dungeons are. So they have this site over here. You can look at it from their itch page. I think they link to it. And you can sign up, and they just do free 1-page dungeons. I guess like every month or so, 1 or 2 months. And they put this one up there, the puzzle dungeon, which is cool. And they put up a video of them brainstorming the adventure. And they have some good advice on puzzle dungeons. They at one point they talk about a puzzle in Morkborg, which I haven't read the Morkborg book. I don't know the rules. I don't know if this was in like the sample dungeon or just a Morkborg adventure. But they were talking about a puzzle that they liked in there, and why they liked it. So it's a statue, right? And it's missing an eye. But instead of the eye, there's blood stains. There's blood stains on the eye. And the solution, the intended solution, is that it needs an eye. It needs a real eye. It doesn't need a stone eye. So you could carve out your own eye, but that's the obvious and like bad solution. Maybe not necessarily bad, but the next part of the puzzle, they said, is what starts now. Like, where are we going to get that eye? And that leads to a lot of fun, gameable experiences, I think. So that was neat. And they said, what does that puzzle immediately strike you as? I forget exactly what they said, but it's simple, right? And I think there is kind of a I don't know, some kind of elegance factor with a puzzle, which makes it more satisfying to solve. I liked it. You should check it out. You should subscribe to their thing, like and subscribe, and do all the things that YouTube people say to do, right? These folk, one-page dungeons. Pepijin and Willem Jan. And they have the newsletter. Blue Leprechauns. This is everything, and you might not be able to see everything because my head might be in the way. But this is it. This is the one-page dungeon. Blue Leprechauns. And the idea here is you have color, and you want to manipulate that color in different ways to solve the puzzles. The dungeon is completely in black and white. And we have these lanterns spread out all over the place, and they each emit one light in orthogonal directions. And you can combine the light to form different colors. And I think I had to look this up on how this works when you combine colors, and I'm not sure. I guess I really need a colored lantern to try this out. But you combine them to make other colors to do some things. But it's less complicated than that sounds. We got some leprechauns here. They were turned black and white. And if they turn green, right, then they turn into their happy self. But before that, they're aggressive, they're vulgar and stuff. So that should give you a little bit of an idea of what you're expecting here. So different things are going to react differently depending on the color, and it makes sense. And even if the players wouldn't guess immediately what the interaction would be, it becomes more obvious, which helps them. I think it will help them latch on and come up with fun out of the box ideas from this. And one thing is like the Minotaur here. Has the red lantern. Any Minotaur sees in red, they're enraged because they're part bull. So there's that. There's a lot of great interactivity between the NPCs in here. I think first I want to say that it's challenging to fit all this stuff in one page. I think this is A4, yeah. So it's challenging to fit all this stuff in one page, and what you say matters a lot. And in a puzzle dungeon, I think that it matters a lot to be very specific. And there were certain parts where I tried to like stop myself. I'm like, well, it's ambiguous. I'm not sure how I would do it. And I think with a one-page dungeon, it's a little bit different. There's a little bit more flexibility. It's expected that you can't fit every single word over here. So the fact that the central prism, it doesn't specify if you could pick it up or it just stays there. And I had to tell myself, okay, settle down. It's not going anywhere. It's a main puzzle element. It's not going to be movable. I could see forgetting that in like the heat of the game, maybe. But maybe one more word over here for this, or yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to choose your words carefully. I would put like an extra one here, just immovable. The prism is immovable. It is a dungeon feature. It's not something you can pick up, move around, and use to solve puzzles. It's important because you need to reflect things over here. And that gets me into the NPCs. I really like the interactivity on how they interact with the puzzle, right? We got Minotaurs, Leprechauns, a vampire, mirror folk, and a spider, and they all serve a function and they interact with each other differently. Obviously, you wouldn't want a bull in a china shop. You probably don't want a Minotaur in a room full of mirror folk. The Minotaurs I mentioned, they get angry when they see something red, and they'll run at it. So that's fun. You're going to throw a Minotaur at this vampire who's floating over a chasm. Or maybe he's just going to go after you. The leprechauns / gnomes. So they're referred to as ash gnomes to start. They're just black and white. There's been a curse that's beset this dungeon, and everything's in black and white. The color is stolen, but you can retrieve it in different ways, and you can restore the color. They're referred to here as gnomes, and they could become leprechauns at some point if you shine green light on them, right? And so you might need to like map this out during play. I'm imagining how it would run at the table with the group, and you say, well, you got the green beam, and you want to get the green beam over here. So I guess you just kind of like abstract where the light goes out and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try and convince this mirror folk to come over here and do this over here. Yeah, I could see that being fun at the table, trying to convince each of these NPCs to kind of work with you and work together. And I think being a one-page dungeon, the DM can think of stuff to go off of and get moving with. I like it good. They each react to the light in a certain way. Your vampires, your kind of random element over there, he likes to screw with anything and kind of mess things up. So you got to convince other people to get around them. It's good. The mirror folk, you need them for the reflective surfaces. You need the spider to move. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I really like this dungeon. It was hard for me to come up with something overarching for like puzzle-y related stuff. I think it's doing a lot of stuff right. I think most of it was just kind of like nitpicky stuff, and some things that I was just a little bit confused on. So yeah, why do the mirror folk need water? I know now because I read this one again. Was that rain? And I listened to the podcast that you had. That rain is one of the things over here. So one of them must want rain as something if they're going to get water, right? Or maybe they have a water slide or something. Yeah. I know it's hard to fit the detail in there too, like I don't even know where you would fit those words. But if I was a player in this game and I heard that the mirror was going to go fetch some water, I'd be like, do you guys drink water? Do you need it to survive? Do you eat something? And as a GM, I would have to come up with those answers. You already say that they're building a simple habitat. Maybe you could squeeze in there if they're building a water slide. I'm not sure. Or you could just drop the water thing. They're going to fetch something. They're going to fetch shinies, something to look at in the mirror, something to reflect, something else, something there. The rubite. Just some wording here. You see the sunlight is considered all colors. It reappears where it's gone. I would move that to the end of to the top of the paragraph there. Sunlight is considered all colors. When it reappears, the light is gone. Okay. I was a little confused on how this worked with light. I guess I was thinking with like paint, right? I'm like red and green, that kind of makes brown. I could see where this is going with light and like I guess a computer with like RGB lights. And so yeah, I was confused. I'm like, are players going to come to the conclusion that you need to mix red and green to make yellow? And I think they would. I think that's pretty clever too with the gray. They start mixing the lights. They can play around with them. Eventually, they'll be like, yeah, we make yellow. And I guess I was confused too. The prism in the center. I don't think this matters actually. I think the lights will work out. As soon as they start messing around, they're just going to start combining the lights and realize that they can change the colors. Let's ignore this. Get the hell out of here. Okay, caskets. That's fun. Yeah, I wasn't sure if, you open all of them up, you let the light out again. and it comes back, removes the curse. The blue casket, I think, is only available in the Wandering Encounters. If it is intentional that, like, we want to give them a chance to break the curse, I feel like the blue casket should be somewhere specific. But even past that, too, a lot of these things should probably be somewhere specific. I know it's a really small map, it's hard to do, but I feel like you could probably place the blue casket in here. And then it will feel like a more alive place because nothing's kind of like in a quantum state. Like it might be there, it might be not. Like there's D4 Minotaurs around here somewhere, but I don't know where they lair. Maybe in one extra room, or maybe there's like a side room over here where he like buddies up with them. Yeah, just said that. Oh, yes. This encounter only makes sense if the players have lit up the prism or partially lit up the prism. I would just say, because he just blocks the beam and just annoys them, would say this, just make it generic and say vampire metals with the PCs. Blocks a generic beam or something. That works just fine. I wasn't sure how this worked. Like, he's coveting the red light, but he's also angry at anything that shines red. Is he angry at himself? Or maybe I'm just overthinking it. I wasn't sure. I feel like there should be, like, the starting arrangement for this particular puzzle. We have this bridge made of this material that disappears in red light. I was not sure if this Minotaur was shining that red light in those directions to get out of this room and have the bridge disappeared at the start. I feel like it is that way because there's like a treasure room over here and you probably wouldn't be able to get to the treasure room without crossing over here. But I'm not sure. I could see it going both ways. If the bridge was here at the start, maybe the Minotaur would notice and like get up and see what's going on, and then the bridge would disappear under them. I don't think that's the case, though. I think it's intended that the bridge is not there from the start, right? And the light is shining over this way. It was just unclear from the wording if it was or not. And I feel like in the heat of running this, I might forget. The heat of running it, and describe there being a bridge. I'm not sure. Yeah. Prism moving. Talked about that. These things, yeah. The sword that disappears in red light. I would like it to have a little bit more, something cool about it. It is cool that it disappears in red light, but is that going to come up outside this dungeon much? I guess if they leave with a casket and they're having fun with the red light box or the lantern. It'd be neat if it tied into the color theme again. Something else about it, like maybe get stronger in blue light or some other kind of light. Moonlight is +2. Or, that's not really, that's white. And I would place it definitively, not after the third find. I would just put it in one of these places. This is a nice spot because it ties into the Rubite Bridge. I think it's thematically appropriate. Vampire. I think that's it. I think I got to all my comments. Not a lot to say about this. I like it. It's cool. You can print this up and play it at a con. I dig it. Good job. I'm excited. I subscribe to your videos, so I will watch you two again doing your magic dungeon creation. Thanks for submitting. Let's see. A familiar tower. If you go to puzzledungeon.com/tower, this is my project, which is crowdfunding for Zine Month in February. And if you sign up and you join these other 260 people to get updates, I don't really send any updates right now. It's going to launch in February. I'm just going to tell you when it launches and be excited about it. The numbers going up just make me happy. And yeah, I hope everyone loves this. I've been working hard on it for almost a year now. One of the first times I play tested it was at GaryCon, and that was a blast. And it really encouraged me to take it forward and get it going. And I can't wait for people to start enjoying it and running it and telling me that they have done that, telling me the silly stories, that hijinks that they got up to. Have a good night. Bye-bye.